Hey, hey, hey. It is the day after Thanksgiving. I am Brannon Beliso, and this is Success Never Sleeps, where we, as a collective, get together. We figure out this thing called life. Today's going to be all about gratitude and how that helps me create a very amazing life and a successful businesses. But let's begin by thanking our sponsors, please. We have Tucson Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, and Kin Creative. All companies I work with, all people I love, and I'm very blessed to do life with. We have our It's Time group mentoring. You know, we just finished It's Time Live Freedom, and to watch my team mature coming into their roles as mentors. We're all active school owners. We all actively strive to better our business, which of course improves retention, which of course improves your bottom line. I mean, they all go together. And to watch us grow into who we're becoming is something magical. So if you're looking for a mentor, not a consultant, click on the link, schedule a discovery call with any of us, and we'll share with you what it is we can offer you in order to create your version of success and grow your business. So everything today is going to be about gratitude. But for me, gratitude is much more than just a word, a life skill, a statement. Gratitude runs through every vein in my body, every fabric of what I do. And it exemplifies itself in other manifestations. Like yesterday is a prime example. I started my day with a 2-hour workout. It's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Extreme kickboxing. It was completely sold out. It was packed. And now it doesn't necessarily generate any type of additional revenue, but what it does, it creates community, it creates culture. It's an expression of gratitude to our members, our friends, our family. And I define gratitude to be thankful. So everything we discussed today is going to center around just that mindset. I had somebody who was a little uneven, I would say, at Thanksgiving dinner. And I said, well, look around you. We're sitting together, communing, eating more food than we possibly could need. And there's somebody in Gaza right now starving to death. He goes, well, I'm not in Gaza. I said, no, but somebody is. And to be empathetic towards their suffering, to help you remind yourself just how grateful you should be or could be or need to be presents itself, right? So I'm very passionate about that. And it's easy to look around you and see somebody that might be better off than you and might see somebody who's worse off than you. Now, either way, for me, whichever one I need to anchor myself in to create a sense of gratitude, I will do that all day, every day. I think, number one, on a human level, what diminishes my gratitude is when I'm always looking at somebody else and what they have, right? I mean, for me, it's really important. Hey, who do we have here, Marco? We have Sebastian. We have Rosie. I'm not sure who that is, Marco. Maybe you can check on that for us. It's very easy to look over the fence at the Joneses and say, hey, you know, they have more than me. They have this. They have that. I think the bottom line is it's not your life. And to look at somebody else, such as another martial arts school in your neighborhood. Let's start with that. Another martial arts school in your neighborhood. It's very easy to look at somebody that you might think has more students than you, and then you point fingers and it becomes this internal dialogue of my ego claws better than your tiger kung fu. So why do I not have more students than him? What a great way to derail your gratitude. What a great way to derail your path that you're trying to cultivate and creating your version of success when you choose to do that. You with me? Hey, Art, what's happening? Working on some change today. That's good, Art. Yeah, we had a wonderful conversation, Art and I, courtesy of Marco's inspiration. And it's a beautiful thing, what you're doing, Art. And I hope through some of the inspiration and the learning, you can begin to cultivate your version of success, right? It's not a lot, 160 students. That's something you can do reasonably and create a life that you enjoy and the life that you feel is most impactful for what you're trying to do, right? Oh, you got my book. Good. Good. The Adventures of Bray and Tay is a wonderful book. The reader of the day, opportunities that it presents, because there's just so many people wanting to come in martial arts schools and be PE teacher of the day, you know, or come do a self-defense, confidence building workshop, anti-bullying. That line is long. But to come in as reader of the day, it's non offensive. It doesn't promote violence. Yet, culturally, it can help promote the value of your school. I know I'm getting sidetracked for a little, but stay with me. This Monday, I will go to an elementary school, and each month they do an assembly. And the theme is this one is self control and determination. I will go in there. I'm going to donate this book, Art, to the library and to everyone in the kindergarten teachers. I'm going to hand them a copy of this book to read. And then I'm also going to present on control and determination. I'm going to award some of our determination badges. I'm bringing them the coloring sheets and giving those to the teachers as well. So each kindergarten teacher will walk away with the coloring sheet for self-control and determination. On the back of it, I'll put a QR code for them to scan to take a class. And I'll also give them the Adventures of Bray and Tay book up to about second grade. So yeah, and then I will present and I will inspire these kids on the values of self-control and, good determination. So these opportunities are there. And I believe by being of service, and that's another great way to express gratitude is to be of service. Like they asked me, what would my fee be for this event? And I said, there is no fee for this event. What I'm going to do is, in exchange, if you could help me responsibly promote our services to the families at Meadows, I would appreciate you. And I left it at that, right? So what? I'm going to go in there and charge them $800, to do this talk. And that's stepping over a dollar to pick up a penny. You know what I mean? The potential to create a deeper relationship with this new administration at this elementary school, as well as impact the community, right? It's literally 4 blocks from my house because my kids went to this elementary school. It's just such a win, 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 win all the way around. So, look for those opportunities, Art, because they are there. So, gratitude. Gratitude for me defined is I am grateful, right? I say it all the time. We teach the kids it means to be thankful, to be thankful. And habits, power words, sentences, all those things help cultivate it. Why? Because every day when I wake up, I'm my own best friend, I'm my own worst enemy. And I make that conscious choice. Now, my own worst enemy, greed, jealousy, envy, sloth, take your pick. Prejudice, racism. I mean, I could go on and on, right? When I'm my own worst friend, I live in a state of hate. But under love, gratitude, empathy, patience, tolerance, all these different things we need to be the best version of ourselves, or in my case, to fulfill my purpose of live your best life, gratitude is a big one. That's why when people ask me, how are you doing? My only reply ever is I am grateful. I am grateful, right? I am grateful. And that's very important to me because if I can hear it, if I can say it, it often flips the switch in my mindset. Now, why is this so important to your life and business? Well, if you're grateful to the team you're trying to cultivate, guess what? They'll feel more valued, right? I don't think it's just more systems of training people to deliver the curriculum or whatever the SOP is in your business. No, it's not. 99% of the time, when that team is quitting and that team, is not supportive, is because they do not feel appreciated. They do not feel valued. They do not feel supported, right? And that's real important, folks. I can't express that enough. So if you make it a point to cultivate gratitude towards your team, that is retention 101 for anybody wanting to be part of your company. They feel appreciated. They feel valued. If you support them, that's another act of gratitude. And every step of the way, you will always hear me say, thank you so much. My team provides me with freedom. Without a great team that's generating the revenue we do and the profit that we do, I would need to work and teach and miss out on all of the different family things I get to enjoy today. And I'm so blessed for that. Other than the first 3 to 4 years of my son's life, I believe it was, because we were still trying to figure it out. I've been here for everything for my family. And I feel very blessed and very grateful for that. So, I want you to try to create a new habit right now And anytime somebody asks you, how you doing? How you doing? Say, I am grateful. That simple, boom, will flip the switch in your mind and you will actually become more grateful. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe in the mindset of fake it till you make it, but when Dave Kovar taught that to me, I was at a Dave Kovar seminar and he says, every day I wake up and I say, feeling good and getting better. Even when he's grouchy and wakes up in a bad mood, he says he stands in front of the mirror and goes, feeling good and getting better, feeling good and getting better, feeling good and getting better, feeling good and getting better. And he actually transcends his bad mood and puts himself in a better mindset. It's the same thing here. I was in traffic the other night and it was a 2-hour drive to go watch my son play basketball. And I looked over at my wife. I said, you know what I'm grateful for? We never have to sit in traffic like this. She goes, okay. Some people have to drive in this every day to and from work. Wow, right? Wow. And so that ability is there. And to recognize is super important. Okay. So you would think if you're coming aboard, hey, Bob, Gold's Martial Arts. All right. If you're coming aboard and you're hanging out, tell me you're here. It's just not bizarre. Yeah, it is bizarre. I'm going to use that word boldly. It's very bizarre to have somebody follow me for years and say, hey, man, I've been following your stuff for years. I said, why did you say hi and connect? But some people have followed me for years and years without ever connecting with me. So I'm always grateful when people choose to hang out. See, I'm always grateful when people choose to hang out, and especially the day after Thanksgiving. I didn't want to miss you guys, so that's why I'm choosing to be here today. Now, stay with me. We're going to take gratitude and apply it to our business. I'm grateful if somebody sees our Facebook ad or a Google review and does nothing with it. I'm grateful if they opt into our website and still do nothing with it. I'm grateful if you opt into our website, read through everything, and do not schedule a trial class. I'm grateful if you opt in, look around, schedule a trial class, and don't show. I'm grateful if you come to our website, look around, opt in, schedule a trial, and actually show up. I'm grateful if you opt into the website, schedule a trial, show up, take the class, and never sign up. Or you do sign up. The point I'm trying to make with this, and I think you get where I'm going, is that gratitude is not based upon external devices. Gratitude is a very internal journey. And I guested on a podcast, The Spiritual Ninja. I was a guest on that 2 days ago. And we really spoke a lot how the journey inward is the true path. Everything you need is inside of you. You were born perfect. I believe that. And then through life, through trauma, through suffering, through experiences, we lose our truer self in many, many cases. And that is why I think it's important to always trying to get back inward. So gratitude for me allows me to be the best version of myself. Gratitude for me allows me to be happy. Because if I'm in a grateful state of mind, I'm a happier person. I'm so happy. Happy, no, happy. And it's the little things that it helps cultivate. Like, for example, at Extreme Kickboxing, we had 22 people. And 2 of the people have been with us for a long, long time. I know they like coming through the back door where the parking lot is. So it's not a regular day at One Martial Arts, right? We're closed other than this kickboxing. What did I do? I propped that door open. They have 2 bags they specifically like, this husband and wife duo. I put their bags right where they like them in this big room of craziness with all the other bags. And then I save them by putting 2 gloves on top. You see where I'm going with that? And when the husband noticed, he goes, wow, we get the VIP treatment. No, I just looked at him. I said, I'm grateful. I'm grateful you choose to be a part of this. And that was it. And my expression of gratitude was manifested through my the habits that day. You see where I'm going with that? But if I was pissed off because I had to teach on Thanksgiving morning and I didn't really want to, I went in there, I would have missed those Disney moments that keeps them coming back again and again and again. I mean, it's fitness, folks. So for somebody to keep coming to your school for 10 years, that's crazy. But it's not because of those little things, right? I also make this special version of fried rice, and his wife loves it. Long story short, 10 years ago when they first moved here, they didn't really have anybody, they didn't know anybody yet. So what did I do? I invited them to our home for Christmas. And the wife ate this fried rice. She loved it. And it's been a tradition since. I make it for her every year. But I find out they're not going to be there for extreme kickboxing the day after Christmas. So I'm going to make her special fried rice before then. You see where I'm going with this? Because gratitude helps me be grateful for all my students, for all the people who choose to do business with us, the families, all of it. Prime example when I know I'm extremely ungrateful is when I see an old student in the mall and they go the other direction because they were probably getting ready to quit. And what did you do? You probably called them into the office and did everything you could to get them not to quit, right down to what they tell you to do. Guilt the parent. What kind of parent are you? Is that good parenting skills? Right? That's horrible. You don't do that to anybody. Never, never, ever. No, never, ever, ever do you do that to anybody. You with me? All right. So when you quit our school, here's how we express gratitude. First thing we do is we send you an email saying, thank you for allowing us to serve you. We hope the time you shared with us was beneficial. If you'd ever like to continue your martial arts journey, we'll be right here waiting. We follow that up with a postcard. And believe me, if a parent makes a child talk to me or any of us to tell us they're quitting, we tell them we're so grateful for the time you spent here. You get to go do soccer. Oh, it's so cool. I'm grateful you get to go do soccer. Yeah, absolutely. We leave that door open. It should always be like that. And we invite them to come to the events like the Halloween party. I saw a student that's no longer a student. I told them, hey, once you're part of this family, you're always part of this family. Come for the holiday party because I know they love our parties, right? And so maybe they'll come. But you see where I'm going with that, people? And in the long term, does that improve my retention? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Does that help my bottom line? Absolutely. But is it my pure motivation? No, not at all. Because I like being happy. And I can't be happy unless I am grateful. Good. So let's begin with the self. We're going to talk a little bit about you. How do you express gratitude to yourself? Anybody? Anybody? Unconditional gratitude. Oh, I like that, Art. And anybody who came aboard, say hello. Tell me who you are, where you're tuning in from. So if I need to be the example of gratitude, right, and I need to express gratitude to people, our friends and families and everybody with us, unconditional gratitude, as Art is saying, how do I express gratitude for myself? Let's begin there. How do I express gratitude for myself? Anybody? Come on, help me out. I'm going to tell you, and it's a really hard one. I need to love myself, warts and all. I need to love myself unconditionally, warts and all. I need to be perfect in my imperfections. I need to decide that I am worthy of success. And the only way you can feel you're worth it is if you're grateful for who you are. See, but it's just such a thin line between ego, insecurity, narcissistic, BS behavior compared to somebody who's truly grateful, right? Art saying definitely what I need to work on. Yeah, give time to yourself. It's kind of like when we're on an airplane and the oxygen drops, the mask come down. What does the flight attendant say? You put on your mask first, then you put on your child's mask. You're no good to anybody unless you're good to yourself. But I get it. It's very easy when you're a parent or a school owner that you're a martyr. You become this, it's lonely at the top. Nobody gets me. Try being the boss. All of that, is useless. Does that inspire your team? Nope. No, it doesn't. Does that make your family feel less guilty for not saying thank you for something? Nope. So it's really important to me that through being grateful for myself, being grateful for who I am, being grateful for the blessings and my shortcomings, I am grateful for everything that has happened in my life. And some of it's been extremely traumatic and extremely painful. Why? Because if I take my past and I do everything in the world to change it, I can't. You cannot change the past because it's in the past, right? Lion King, Hakuna Matata, just let it go. So by being grateful for everything that's happened to me up to this point in my life, I don't suffer from depression. Every study, everything's saying that people are depressed because of their past life and they want to change it and they can't. The pain is so painful, they want to change it when only real change is acceptance, is acceptance. Because through that acceptance, you are able to cultivate gratitude. And to accept life on life's terms requires a lot. Is it a great leadership skill? Absolutely. It allows your team to make mistakes. It allows your team autonomy. It allows them to come up to you and share something because they know you appreciate them for who they are, shortcomings and all, strengths and all, weaknesses and all. That's super important in relationships, especially with the emotional intelligence today that it takes to be a level 5 leader. I deal with a lot of different personalities in our two businesses, and I'm grateful all these people choose to run with me and share life with me. So if they're having a bad day or so if they fall short, we never get mad. We just simply work through it together. Course correction. But I'm grateful. This is an opportunity for course correction. Let's correct this behavior. Let's write a new system. Let's move in a direction that's advantageous so we can fulfill our purpose of helping people live their best life. Yeah. Yeah. Art's saying, I can't fill someone's cup unless you fill your bucket first. It's true. It's true. But I think one of the mindsets that's an offshoot of gratitude is the law of abundance. I have enough of water to fill my cup, fill your cup, fill everybody's cup, because my cup runneth over. I'm so grateful. I believe I have a well to draw from, a resource that's unlimited. And that's important for me. I can't tell you how much I've improved as a leader when I made gratitude one of the life skills I master. So, how else do I show myself gratitude? Again, I'm very mindful. I love my alone time, but I never get too lonely, too tired, or too hungry. And when I get lonely, I crave human attention. So, to be able to connect with people that appreciate you is also a reflection. It really is. When I feel other people appreciate me, I do appreciate myself more. But like Art's saying, leaders can't carry shame. If you don't drop your load, you cannot lead effectively. That's super true. That's super true. But I do feel every day the pressure of being accountable for 40 employees, being accountable to provide for my family, being accountable. And that could produce shame and guilt when you don't fulfill that, when you fall short. And then I lean into, I am grateful I get to be in this position. What's the next step? What's the next, course correction we should take? What's the next opportunity? Yeah, we're going through that right now, folks, with curriculum. We're revamping our curriculum. And I only teach 1 day a week. These guys are teaching 5, 6 days a week. They're more in tune with the curriculum. They're more in tune with what's working and what's not. I should be grateful I have that team, not shoot down their ideas on curriculum changes because I'm the master, right? That's useless. So the changes we're making are powerful and it's improving our curriculum. And we're seeing an uptick in white belts staying longer. We're seeing an improvement in our retention because we're grateful that all these friends and families choose to be a part of One Martial Arts. And how do we show that? By bettering their experience, by creating curriculum that's age specific, skill level specific, and relevant to today's times. So that is an expression of gratitude. Written word. I did that last night. I wrote, an expression of gratitude to all our friends and families. I posted it on our One Martial Arts Friends and Family page for Millbrae and the one for San Francisco. I sent it through our CRM system as in the app as an SMS and an email. So we have that unique opportunity every day to express our gratitude to every student to every family. And I'm a huge advocate of that. Because if people feel special, they feel like they belong here, right? They're going to stay longer. So that's why I think the biggest act of gratitude in the culture of One Martial Arts is we are not a transactional business. People go, what? You collect money all the time. People are buying stuff from you all the time, whether it's a membership or whatever the case may be. I said, I understand that, but we don't view our behaviors as transactional. We don't sit you down and sell you or talk you out of quitting or any of those things. But what we are mindful of, we are a relational business. You really want to move into gratitude? You want to 10x your gratitude? My suggestion to you is become a relational business, right? That doesn't mean give it free to everybody that says they can't pay for martial arts. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying make the relationship more important than the simple monetary transactional um, habits that exist. Right? They pay every month. You provide a service every month. Anyone can do that, right? But what we're discussing here is when you make the relationship of greater value, then you invest into gratitude. Then you invest in appreciating that relationship that you're cultivating. Is it easy some days? No, it's very hard. And that's okay. That's okay. But because I'm grateful for this relationship. We work through the challenges, we work through the differences, and we get there. And that to me is another miracle of gratitude. When people feel supported and appreciated and valued, they're more likely to bring challenges up to you. And that is very important when it comes to retention. And you could see it sometimes people will come at you really harsh because they're very uncomfortable having to bring something to your attention, almost guilty, almost ashamed. So they project it on you by maybe being a bit emotional or irrational. I recognize that behavior. It's got nothing to do with me. It's just really awkward to have to come when you have this great relationship and tell them, hey, this thing's not working right now. I'm not happy with this. And anytime we're in those positions, we express our gratitude by literally getting them to drop their defense by saying, hey, I'm grateful that you've brought this to our attention. What can we do, right, to make it better? Because I value your opinion. I'm grateful that you feel safe enough to share this challenge with us. Together, let's solve it. See, that's an example today. And when I sit and have meetings with TJ, TJ's my second, I would call him my partner. TJ and I are communicating on a whole nother level. I mean, we talk to each other like Harvard scholars because we don't need to, knuckle drag ourselves down in the moat there and beat up each other and say, do as I say because I'm physically stronger than you, right? So it's a different space. It's a different space. Now, Art, doubling back to what Art was saying, leaders can't carry shame. We do carry shame. We're human beings, but there's good shame and bad shame. Good shame, I lied. I should take ownership of that. And that's something to be ashamed of when you lie. Bad shame, maybe the kid didn't get their stripe and it was simply an oversight on the team's part. And I shouldn't, that's bad shame. It was beyond my control. But though I'm willing to acknowledge that, I can fix it. You see where I'm going with that? So shame is good, but there's good shame and there's bad shame. And I think to be a balanced human being and truly recognize what is good shame here, what is bad shame, is very important in my personal development. And especially if I want to live from a mindset of gratitude. It's hard to be thankful when you're always in a state of shame. It's hard to lead when you're always in a state of shame. And I helped whittle away at that shame when I recognized good shame versus bad shame. You with me? Does everybody get that? All right. So, what else promotes gratitude? Going back to the self, right? We're talking about if you can appreciate yourself, be grateful for yourself, it's kind of like it's going to radiate outwards into the rest of the world, and it manifests itself. Because if I'm truly grateful for me, it's easier to be grateful for you. It's kind of like respect, self respect. If I respect myself, it's easier to respect others, right? So, how do I show myself that gratitude? Well, I'm always constantly striving for balance, right? Balance is a big one. And two things that resonate with me. Number one is being self centered. I know, right? We always hear the negative connotation. I get it in business, being a leader, right? It's an easy go to for somebody that may not be able to communicate with you. You know, it's very easy, right? It's very easy. If we can't communicate, you want to start pointing fingers. I want to start pointing fingers. Everybody feels bad. So communication is very important. But the negative connotation we often hear is people will say to you, "You're so self centered." Who's ever heard that one before? You're so self centered, right? And it's very easy when you're the leader of the band, right? The lead singer gets the most crap, right? Because he's the star, he's the leader of the band. It's so easy to do that. So when somebody says to me, "You're so self centered," my reply is yes, and I'm grateful. And they go, "Well, how's that? How's that?" I said, "Well, because if you, the self, are centered, you make better choices, you take right actions. And in my martial arts business, there's not a lot of room for mistake, right? You're like an actor. You're only as good as your last movie. Well, guess what? You're only as good as your last class. And when you step on that mat and teach it, it's super important. So I need to be a centered person. I need to be full of myself. I hope you're with me on that. Because if I'm full of myself and I'm a whole person, I'm much more effective in everything that I do. But again, we deal with the negative stereotype of you're so full of yourself. And the other one is, self centered. The other one is you're so full of yourself, right? That's a big one too. Then I say, well, who should I be full of? You? What you want me to be? Preconditioned thinking, unauthorized thought patterns, right? Fed to you through your life. Maybe trauma as a child with an adult or a bully or something of that nature. Who should you be full of? Yourself, your self being, right? Yourself. If you're full of yourself, and again, you're completely full of yourself, you're a whole human being. I find my biggest indiscretions, my biggest mistakes, my biggest, shortcomings always manifested themselves through behaviors when I was not whole in myself. I was half a person living half a life, which definitely impacted any business I own, right? And so it's really important. Write that down. If you want to have gratitude for yourself, be self centered and be full of yourself. Okay. Another big one that can deplete my gratitude is not understanding want versus need, right? Want versus need. I want a Bentley. Okay, sure. I need a safe form of transportation. Which one can I be more grateful for? Well, everyone said, well, the Bentley, because the Bentley is a safe mode of transportation. No, it's not. It's expensive to maintain. It's not the best driving car, personally. So what are we discussing here? So if I can move from want to need, here's another example, okay? I don't want air. I need air. Okay, I know that's very fundamental, but let's stay with that for a moment. I want air. I need air, right? How's it go? You can go without food for 40 days, water for 7, but you'd be brain dead in 3 to 4 minutes if you don't get air. As an example, as a little kid, I remember doing something lame and taking on water in the swimming pool. And I'm gasping for air. I'm under that water. I'm just gasping, trying to get to the top. Believe me, when I got to the top of that water and I took that first big, deep breath, I was very grateful for that air I was breathing. You see where I'm going with that? So, what helps me root that gratitude is when I discover it's a need. It's a need. I need to serve. It's not I want to serve. I need to serve. And the more I'm allowed to serve, I am more grateful. You with me? So you see where I'm going with that? I need to fulfill my purpose of living your best life. And I'm extremely grateful when I'm permitted to do so. I need to be a better version of myself. And anytime I make steps towards that, I am grateful. So write it down, right? You got to write it down. You need to know want versus need. And when a want becomes a need, or I know what that need is, guess what? Gratitude is manifested. Cool? And again, I hope everyone's able to correlate this to their business. Are you with me? Any questions about how what I'm teaching you today and sharing impacts your business? Anybody? And if you're here and you've come aboard, say hello. Say hello. I love it when people say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Cool. So the mindset that really helps, and I'm going to lean hard into this. The grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it, right? Think of the patch of grass beneath your feet right now. Maybe your wife or significant other, maybe your current staff, maybe your current student base, maybe your current um, financial situation. If I recognize that the grass is not greener on the other side, it's greener where I water it. If I'm watering the grass beneath my feet, right? Extreme case for some people out there in the world, right? They go have affairs. How's that going to make your marriage better? It's not. And if you're grateful for the relationship you've been blessed with, the one you chose to marry, then you're going to work on it consciously. It's only when you become ungrateful that you're unbalanced and make bad choices like that. You with me? So the grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. This is a big one. Live within your means and save for a rainy day. Living within my means is being grateful for what I earned today. An ungrateful person would drive themselves into debt, irresponsible debt, credit card debt, overspending. That's an example of not being grateful because if I'm grateful for the $1 I have, I'm going to spend 50 cents of it and I'm going to save 50 cents of it. You with me on that? So gratitude is really cultivated in that. Ooh, this is a great one. Learning only becomes knowledge through application. How do we apply gratitude to that? Anybody? Learning only becomes knowledge through application. Well, I'm grateful I can learn. There's a lot of learning out there, and as I tell people, anything you need to be successful is out there on the internet now. It is. It really is. We live in an information society. The challenge is I'm not grateful for that learning because if I really value that learning, I would apply it. And through that application, I get the general wisdom, the real knowledge that, wow, this knowledge is mine. So that's how I'm grateful for the learning. I apply it. I apply it. Are you with me? Yeah, and that's why you come to these conventions or you come listen to me for an hour right now and you go back to your life and you do nothing with it. Because one, you aren't grateful for yourself. Two, you're not grateful for the learning you're getting right now. And three, you're not grateful for the ability that you can take action. Think about that. Think about that. Okay. If I have one finger pointed at you, I have three pointed back at me. When I'm an ungrateful person, I spend my time wagging that finger at you because I need validation for whatever ungrateful action I'm exhibiting. Somebody validate me. Okay, I'm pointing a finger at you. You. When these three fingers pointed back at me, I'm grateful because these three fingers pointed back at me allow me the opportunity to make course correction, allow me the opportunity to be a better version of myself. You with me? And that's leadership. If you're a leader that walks around pointing fingers at your team, they're going to quit as soon as they can, right? Or leave you, take half the students and open up halfway down the street. You ever been in situations similar to that? And the first thing you say to them, you're so ungrateful. Everything I've done for you, you're so ungrateful. No, they're not ungrateful. You weren't living in a state of gratitude that you get to serve people and leave it at that. You're serving people because you feel like, they got to give you something in return. That is not gratitude at all. No, at all. So I'm mindful of that. I love the three fingers pointed back at me. I'm grateful for them because they allow me an opportunity to learn, apply it till it becomes knowledge, make course correction, better myself, better my, leadership, better my businesses. And of course, it will impact your bottom line. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Great one for me. We know with the advent of social media that it really puts us in a position. What's going on?
Do you have a phone number for those people?
For what people?
For the people that did starting to flood our garage there. They turned it on to try it. Now it's the whole garage is like.
Did they leave?
Yeah, they
Oh.
said it's normal. They have to start it. And then they left.
We're getting a washer and dryer installed, people. And they didn't install it correctly. I'm grateful, though. My garage is flooded a little bit, but I'm grateful. I've got a washer and dryer, a brand new one, and I'll be grateful when we get it fixed and it starts working. Right? There you go. So I want to be mindful of this one a lot. I know with the advent of social media that we're exposed to a lot of different opinions and diversity in thinking. And when somebody chooses to attack me or disagrees with me publicly, I immediately lean into, I am grateful. But it's followed by love, block, delete. I love you. You're entitled to whatever you need to do there, but I'm going to block you and delete you because I'm grateful for me and I won't allow that type of, negativity into my space. See, if you're grateful for the life you have, why would you allow people to poop on it and hurt it and diminish it? Are you with me? Are you with me? So I want you to be mindful of that. This is a great one. If you get a chance, read the Four Agreements by I think it's Miguel Ruiz or Miguel Luis Ruiz. He's a really cool name. And one of his agreements is don't take anything personally. That's important. Again, that personal armor of gratitude allows me not to take so many things personally because I'm grateful for the way you think. And if it's not the way I think, I'm not going to take that personally. I'm grateful that you believe, you need to get wherever you need to get 5 minutes faster. So you cut me off in traffic, then blame me and flip me off. I'm grateful we didn't get into an accident. I'm grateful that you were able to get in front of me to get wherever you need to go. You see, it's just every day we're presented with this opportunity. And if I take things personally, I'll never get to that place of gratitude. Cool? Man, this is a big one. Took me a while because, I grew up extremely poor. And growing up extremely poor, it was very easy to look at the Joneses, look at how much somebody else has, how little I have. So if you really want to learn gratitude, don't count another person's money. Okay? Don't count another person's money. It's the worst thing you could do is counting somebody else's money because it's not your money. And if you want to be ungrateful for what you have, right? If I have a quarter and I'm busy counting this guy's dollar, I'll forget I have a quarter. So don't count another person's money. Be grateful for what you have because through the gratitude of being grateful for what you have, you can build on that, can't you? You can build on it. Absolutely build on it. Cool? Yeah. Give more than you get. You know, if you want to express your gratitude, if you want to be a grateful person, right? And give some more. Probably the highest form of gratitude is our ability to give and then give some more to people. Cool? Be the difference and make a difference. Yeah. I think you should be grateful that there's only one you in this whole world. And if you're squandering it by trying to be like everybody else, right, then you'll never, ever appreciate yourself at the highest level. So I recognize I'm different because there's only one Brannon in this whole world. And through that, I acknowledge that difference by being the difference in people's lives, by making a difference, by paying it forward, by doing those different things. Couple more. I think one of the biggest results, benefits of being a grateful person is it allows me to be happy. A grateful person is always happy. I've never seen anyone who's thankful that doesn't have a big smile on their face and a positive attitude, right? I know me, I'm finding myself smiling uncontrollably at different times or even very solemnly. I'm so grateful. And people say, you're an idiot. You're seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. This isn't a Disney movie. Okay, maybe it isn't, but I still have the opportunity to be grateful, right? To be grateful. So, number one, as I shared earlier, recognize that you are perfect. Recognize that you are perfect, and be perfect in your imperfections. Make that investment because you're grateful for what you've been given. There's a great saying: I complained I had no shoes until I saw a man with no feet, right? I could be grateful I have feet or be ungrateful because I don't have shoes for them. You see where I'm going with that? So I think that's very important. And those unauthorized thought patterns that's fed to me when I scroll down a reel at social media, or I see somebody maybe with a green Lamborghini and think they have more than me, or I see something, I can do that all day long. Those are unauthorized thoughts patterns. They are not my truer self. So I want to be aware of those unauthorized thought patterns, and through journaling and letting stuff go, you can work through them. Peel away those layers, though. If I have a resentment towards something or someone, I want to peel that away. And sometimes that layer is just letting it go. Because how am I going to get to my most grateful self if I'm buried under all these layers of negativity and other people's thinkings and judgments and opinions and what I should be and what I shouldn't be? It's very challenging, very challenging. That white belt mindset, and I think the wonderment of a child is just amazing, right? Everything for kids, it's the first time, and they're just curious. And curiosity is a form of gratitude, right? This is new. I've never done this before. Wow, right? And kids do that all day long, all day long. And I think that white belt mindset that we try to stereotypically say we have, I don't know if we really do. I don't know. Some days I say I live from the white belt mindset, but I'm as closed off as can be. There's no learning in that, right? There's no learning in that. So I have to pay attention. Okay. I got to pay attention to that. Again, as I shared, you got to pay it forward. Please pay it forward and pay it forward some more. My grandma, I used to say this brilliantly. She could take a pot of rice and feed everybody. I'm not sure how she did that, but she did. And we all ate, right? Because she was grateful for family and she found somehow, some way to make that work. Cool. Um, I was, single until I was 44. I've been married 18 years now. So 45, I got married, but I was single till I was 44. And I recognize today, you don't do life alone. You don't do life alone. And once I recognize that, then I recognize if I was going to stay married, if I was to keep my employees long term, I needed to be grateful for them. I needed to express that gratitude through my every thought, word, and action. And today I can gratefully say I do that. I do that. And I'm so proud of myself. I feel better too. When you can appreciate other people, you appreciate yourself. It's just like this amazing thing. Amazing thing. Um, this is a big one. Deciding what matters most. If I want to quickly destroy something that matters most, just treat it you know, with being ungrateful. And people often do that to each other. Somebody they love so much, somebody that they value so much, they're so ungrateful towards. I don't know why. Maybe they're afraid, at least I know for me, I have to be vulnerable and tell you I need you. I have to be vulnerable by saying, I'm so grateful for all you do, but don't think you got one up on me now because I just told you how grateful I am for all you do for me. Right? Right? So I need to be mindful of that what matters most to me. And once I sorted through that, my gratitude towards what matters most is 10x. And I exemplify that through patience, acceptance, tolerance, actively listening, on and on and on, on and on. And it has really helped me become a level 5 leader, especially with my team. It's huge with my team, huge. And then last but not least, for today, live from love. Gratitude is one of the highest forms and expressions of love we can possibly offer ourselves, our family, our teams, and the communities that we serve. And if we make that conscious choice not with any kind of ulterior motive. Brannon said, if I'm grateful, it'll increase my bottom line. No, it can be a result of that, but it's not your motivation. It's not your motivation. Cool? All right. Let's start wrapping this one up, Marco, by thanking. And if you have questions, put them in there, folks. Put them in there and put them in there. I want to start by thanking our sponsors, who I'm extremely grateful for. We've been together a long, long time. Saw Market Muscles, my studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, and King Creative. Again, people I all am blessed to work with. People I am all grateful that we've come together and we do good work. All of us do good work, and it's that expression of gratitude that allows us to do it better. Cool. I'm grateful to Marco, who holds up this show every week. Marco is my partner at It's Time Group Mentoring. Marco helps me with all my videos, my curriculum videos. He edits them, and Marco. I'm grateful for Marco's son, who I love dearly, and his wife. So gratitude is important, and we get to do these things together. And the minute you ever find yourself saying, "Don't take it for granted," or someone says, "You're taking me for granted," you probably should correct that behavior really quick. Cool. I'm grateful that you can find me on all these different social media platforms, right? You can find me at YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the show. I would be grateful. There's tons of learning there that you can take, and run your business. People have never worked with me in their lives, but through everything I've posted, they've been able to leverage it and create successful businesses. I'm grateful for that. Extremely grateful. Follow me at Instagram. Ask to be part of our Disruptor group or It's Time Group Mentoring group as well. Cool. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I am Brannon Beliso. This, I gratefully can say, is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, I can gratefully say, go out there and live your best life.